SST. It's kind of the same. So I think he was going right to where he was from. And then he was like, oh, I mean, St. Brown.
Right.
So I think he knows his name.
What do you think it means?
It's going to take a while, I guess.
What do you think his first name means? Did you look into it?
Tall and catches the ball.
I thought it was like calm and composed.
Yeah, calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah. We'll see.
Basically.
He hasn't really been in a high pressure situation yet, though. Really.
He hasn't.
He wasn't competing for anything last year, was he? Or was he?
He's competing against other guys every week.
He did good at the combine.
They had a rough go at quarterback though last year at Notre Dame. Like once Kaiser left.
It's hard. Yeah, you go from Kaiser, who was a top quarterback in college, to just a bunch of random names. His production definitely went down.
Well, did you say he had 4 different quarterbacks?
No, I don't know. I just threw out number 4.
Wimbush threw for 1,000 less yards than Kaiser did the year before, or Notre Dame overall threw for 1,000 less yards.
It's a lot less yards.
It's a lot smaller pie to go around. So I think, as far as Equanimeous, or however you want to...
EQ?
ESB?
Yeah, ESB.
I got ESP on ESB. He's going to be good.
You think so?
I like him. I think he's got a nice, prototypical size. He's 6'5", 214, 33-inch arms and good-sized hands. I like a guy with big hands.
Yeah, you do.
9 3/4.
Take charge.
You've always said that.
He ran pretty good at the combine.
4.4840.
For a 6'5" guy, that's not too shabby.
And he was, when we were watching that at work, I was watching him on the 40-yard dash there. It didn't look like he was running that fast, but it's just because he's 6'5", like Randy Moss style, and he's got long strides that he was moving like a breeze if you were looking at the actual yardage on the field. But if you were watching his legs, it didn't look like he was like trying very hard. He was just
like he was gliding.
Yeah, he was just gliding. He was galloping, swallops.
Like a gazelle.
Like a gazelle.
He did all right on the bench. He did 20 reps. So I mean, he's got some strength. His dad is a.
You stealing my stuff?
Power.
No, he was
world class.
Two-time Mr. Universe.
Woo!
3-time Mr. World as a weightlifter. So he's got the. I'm sure that he's in the gym.
Genes.
He's in the gym all the time, I'm sure. Plus he's got 2 other brothers, right? That are around the same age as him. So I'm sure they compete all the time about who can lift more, who can run faster, who can do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which that only helps the competition part of it.
They're kind of like the Ball family in basketball, except for not as obnoxious.
Yet.
Shots fired.
Yet. Who knows? What if he ends up being the next big thing and all of a sudden his dad's like...
You guys are so positive here.
Yeah. No, because the video we watched was his dad keeping them humble, in my opinion. Like, he sounded like he was like, keep them competitive, but keep them humble, whereas LeVar Ball's on a whole different planet as far as... he doesn't live on humble planet.
Big baller...
No, he's not on humble planet.
Big baller Browns.
Saint Browns.
Saint Browns.
Okay, since we're talking about kind of the family and his background a little bit, let's break into that a little bit. Bust that nut open a little bit, and we'll see what he's kind of made of, what's kind of DNA is going on here. He's at Notre Dame, which is a school that's known for its academics.
Mm-hmm. History.
A
lot of history.
A lot of history there?
A lot of history there.
Oh, the school itself has a lot of history?
Yes, Hunchback and everything. Go ahead.
Rudy and everything. Go ahead.
All right, so clearly he's got to have some good academics to get into Notre Dame.
4.0.
Football as well, yeah.
4.0
his sons. His mother's German. His father's, Mr. Universe. They know 3 languages. They can play football. They're world traveled. So it sounds like their upbringing was very well rounded. So I would.
He even lived in France for a few years when he was a kid as well. So France, mom's German. He's all over the world. Worldwide.
Mr. Universe. That explains a lot.
Mr. 305.
I see what you did there. So I think as far as the transition, he's got I would hope, the aptitude to be able to grasp some of the harder things of the NFL as far as playbooks and concepts and all that kind of stuff goes.
He's a smart kid.
From by all accounts, it seems that way. I'm not going to discount his smarts. So I think by watching him this year, everybody's got kind of a bad taste in their mouth a little bit because Notre Dame was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I know, like, previous to 2017 season, like, his name was being thrown around quite a bit as going to be a top draft pick in the NFL draft coming out. And I know for, like, dynasties and stuff, it was, like, one of those prospects that's kind of mouth-watering, like, oh, I'm going to get this big, fast,
prototypical
wide receiver. And then he had the dud year. So he's been sliding in a lot of things that we've seen lately, which might make him a good value. I guess it just depends on what you think about him. Do you guys have any positives, negatives, pros, cons about?
I don't think it's very warranted to have him slide so far, especially because of last year. I mean, yeah, he fell off the map, but it was the quarterback play. A lot of the times, if you bring in a brand new quarterback and they just don't click, it just doesn't happen. Like I'm not putting him on the upper echelon of like a Calvin Johnson type where he can make any quarterback look good, but sometimes you struggle with that, especially in college.
I think it's only 12 games really.
I think in the NFL you could put him in the outside or the slot, so I think he can do either.
He played both. And,
yeah, which helps out a lot, and he'll run over the middle. He's not afraid to run over the middle. 6'5" guy running over the middle. Sometimes you get the mismatch.
It's a huge target, and now you're talking NFL quarterbacks, and no matter how bad the NFL quarterback is, he's still in the NFL. He's going to be able to make, you would think, a throw across the middle with the 6'5" receiver, which is a gigantic target. All he's got to do is turn his body, and he should be good to go as far as like a target size. But I liked it, even though he's tall and skinny, that he was very durable and wasn't afraid of contact or going across the middle, like you just said. Deceptively fast because he's so tall and he's got great hands in traffic. So as bad as the quarterback play was, like some of the catches that we saw him make, we're watching some highlight film and some plays by him. He definitely is, like you said, I love a guy that's not going to alligator arm it when he goes across the middle and gets all sketchy. All the time we're watching him, like every third play he was running across the middle, catching that ball in the open field, and doesn't mind getting hit. So I like that. But I did notice that he struggled against aggressive cornerbacks. Not necessarily big corners, but if all the guys that bump him up on the line and kind of get their hands on him, he kind of like shut down a little bit. It wasn't like he upped his competitive, like juices and started like getting. It was more like he tended to shy away from the contact at the line of scrimmage, which is kind of scary because
corners.
They're gonna jam him at the first thing they're gonna do with a huge guy. If you're a 5'9" corner in the NFL or 5'8", you're kind of undersized. You're gonna jam that dude as hard as you can because you know that he's so much taller than you that if he gets that leg up on you, he's gonna blow right by you.
Right.
So that was a negative for me.
I didn't like the way, there's a lot of times where I don't know if it, not necessarily taking a play off, but he didn't get the kind of separation you think he would get with being how big he is. He didn't get that kind of separation. And that might have to do with his route running. I think that's something he's going to have to work on, but that's something that a lot of receivers, when they're coming out of college and the pros, they have to work on, is the route tree. Usually you don't come out of college and like, bam, right away, you're running, crisp routes. It doesn't happen that often. I mean, there are some.
Did you